Hi, this is Pastor Stephen Browers from Emmanuel Lutheran Church. I'd like to share with you a devotion for this week from the book of Galatians, chapter 1, verse 8. Again, that's chapter 1, verse 8. Let me read it for you. But even if we or an angel from heaven should preach a gospel other than the one we preached to you, let him be eternally condemned. So what is it talking about, a gospel? Well, you have to keep reading in the book of Galatians, and it's not that long, so I'd encourage you to do that. But it's talking about the gospel, another way, the good news. Sharing good news with someone. Well, what is the content of that news? Well, it's about Jesus. We know this. It's a story about Jesus, or the story about Jesus, what his life and death means for us. So what is that gospel? Well, as Galatians says, it's the fact that we can trust Jesus, that by faith in Jesus alone, we are saved. That's the gospel. That's the good news. That putting our faith in his life, death, and resurrection, that we can also have hope, that even though we die, we shall live again. But then it says, even if somebody else came, or even if an angel from heaven came and told you a different gospel, don't believe him. That let him be condemned, it says. What do they mean, a different gospel? I mean, obviously, talking about another God, that wouldn't be it, but I don't think that's what he's really getting at. He's saying another story about Jesus, or another way of thinking about Jesus. And what he starts to refer to here is that some of the other Christians, or Jewish Christians, Jews who had become Christians at that time, followers of Christ, were saying, well, of course you're saved by faith in Jesus and fill in the blank. And circumcision, for instance, that was a really big deal. Or you're saved by faith in Jesus Christ, and what would you put in there? And going to church at least once a month. Or you're saved by faith in Jesus, but you also have to read your Bible every once in a while. You can't just, hope for the best and hope that the pastor knows what he's talking about or she's talking about. That you're saved by faith, but you also have to do some good things, right? If you're just going to have faith, what good is that? I mean, it sounds like I'm talking from the book of James here. I mean, the thing is, no matter what we add to this faith in Jesus, if we want to get hope by adding something, what tends to happen is we start focusing on that 1% that we're adding, and we lose that it's really about faith in Jesus. Because truthfully, at some point in our life, or at some time, whatever we add becomes a burden that we cannot bear. It stops becoming good news anymore. Like, for instance, let's say you live your entire life and you trust in Jesus, and now you're 99 years old, but you have a fall and you end up in the nursing home for a while, and then you get a blood infection, and now you're kind of delirious, and someone asks you, do you have faith in Jesus? And you don't even know what I'm talking about, right? Right? I mean, you're so lost, right? Well, does this person still have faith anymore? I mean, are they able to share their faith? Are they able to come to church? Are they able to help the needy? Well, do all their previous actions just count for them now? Or, I mean, it's like, it becomes, now we doubt. We say, what? We trust that it's through faith in Jesus alone that saves us. Nothing that we do on our own. Because if it has something to do with what we do, it stops being good news anymore. We love because Jesus loved us first. That's the good news. So the question I have for you is, what have you been adding to this gospel? Have you been adding something like, oh, God will love me as long as I have faith in him, and what do you fill in the blank? Whatever that is, I'd encourage you. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just encouraging to say that's not good news. It's faith in Jesus alone. And once we get that's the gospel, well, then of course we can overflow with love towards other people. And of course we want to go to church to hear that again. And of course, we want to do all these great things. It just opens it up, because now now those are things we get to do, that we may do, but they're not things we must do to be saved. So I hope to see you this Sunday, 8:30. 8:30 service is contemporary, 10:30 is traditional, and after the 10:30 service this week, the Luther League, the high school, is going to be putting on a Valentine's Day dinner, spaghetti, Alfredo, or meat sauce, red meat sauce, bread, and dessert, and lettuce. So I hope that we'll see you this Sunday, and God bless you.